Right, so I am in Silhouette Studio. As you know, I like to do my designing in there. So if you don't use Silhouette Studio, you can use other programs to do this. Let me know if you would like me to use other ones. I do have Corel and Illustrator, but all you have to do is find what function in that software does the same thing, and then you're good. So we're gonna type baby, and then another line. Actually, we're gonna change our font over. So we're gonna select my font, and I'm going to choose a font that you all know, probably, Medina Script. I'm going to do Medina Clean. I know a lot of people use this font, but honestly, there's a reason, you know? And I like it, so I'm going to use it. So let's go ahead and set this up like this. And now I want to copy over this font in this size. So I'm going to hover over and press the Alt button. Your mouse will change to a plus sign. Mine's really small because I have a 4K monitor and it didn't adjust well the silhouette. But I'm going to click and drag while holding Alt, and now I've made a copy. And now I can double click, hit Control A to select all of that text, and this is going to say Swayze. So now what we want to do is I'm actually just going to shrink this down a tiny bit. And because this is a cake topper, I want this to overlap at some point. Let me zoom in right here, to keep it stable and it can be one item. So I like it like this because you can still read it, but it's still connected. So we're going to take this entire thing and weld. We're getting rid of overlapping lines. So check it out. Because this is a script font and they were all touching each other, we're all done. We have it set like that. So now the next thing is we need to set this up as our cake topper. So I'm going to use rectangle and draw a really long skinny line. Let's fill this in so we can see it better. I accidentally made a new one, sorry. All right, so we're going to take this and I'm going to make it even smaller because it doesn't need to be that thick. And we're going to kind of choose, I think I'm going to do two just to be safe. So I'm going to do one right here. And we can adjust the length in just a minute. Hold down Alt, make a copy, bring this over, do one right here. So now we're going to check to see how they are. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit and bring that in as much as I can. All right, so you can see that these are kind of long. We don't need them that long. So we're going to go over here, and you can see I don't have my box right here to set up, like to just drag it in. So I'm going to use my scaling options up here. I want to make sure this is unlocked right here, and I'm going to make my height a lot smaller. Let's do 5 inches. So the bad thing is that it did shrink it that way, but oh well, you win some, you lose some. So I'm going to go ahead, set this up right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of jump over. And what you can do is what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of set this up like this actually, so I can get about the same height that I need. So what I did is I just clicked up here my bar in Silhouette Studio to make a guide. So now I can set, what I did is I brought the guide and I set up that space to make that the area that we're going to go. All right, so we have that lined up. These are the same, but you can see this is much thicker than that one. So we're going to use the same concept that I used before, but we're going to change the width of this one. So you can see this one right here is the width is 0.140. So I'm going to take that, right click, copy, hit this right here, take that, right click, paste, and hit enter. So now you can see my width is all set up. It looks a lot better. And now let's view our whole space. So now I have my cake topper in the right spot. Now it doesn't matter too much how, they don't have to be perfectly even because you're going to stick it in a cake. You'll be okay. So let's grab our whole thing because we want to weld these into there. So right click or just select all, hit weld up here. So now we're all set. So this entire thing is 11.5 inches tall, but what we're really looking for is that it is about 7 inches wide. So that's what we really care about because it's going to go on top of a cake. So we want to kind of shrink it just a tiny bit. I am doing an 8-inch cake, so I'm going to shrink it to be, like 6 inches. 6 and some change, whatever. So now we have our design done. Our next step is to export this in a way that we can cut to our Glowforge. So we're going to select our design, go to File, Save As, and we're going to save it to our hard drive, which means we're saving it to our computer. And now we're going to go over, click this right here, SVG. So we're saving as an SVG. So we'll go to our personal designs folder and we'll do Swayze cake topper. And then hit OK. And then we're all set there. So my next step is I need to turn on my Glowforge and put in my piece of acrylic. So I'm actually going to use some of the proof grade clear acrylic that came with my machine because I'm going to put glitter on it later. All right, so we're turning on our Glowforge and I am using the medium clear acrylic. Now this is proof grade material from Glowforge, so meaning that it has this QR code that my machine will read and they guarantee those cut settings, which is really cool. Now you'll notice that this looks metallic. My last cut I took out my crumb tray, so I need to put that back. So the way we're going to put it back is I'm going to go ahead and lift up my lid and we're going to bring this down. Okay, so here's my crumb tray. There's a little like handle in the front that we need to put in the front. And we're going to very gently bring this back. And there are four like dimples that it needs to go in. So we're going to kind of drop that in there. And so now it's in the dimples. Now we're all set. I'm going to put my acrylic in here. We're going to make sure it's in here nice and snug and even. So we're good right there. Now let's go ahead and close our lid. So now I'm going to go over and upload my file. So we're going to go here. We have our cake topper right here. And you'll see that it'll start processing. Totally normal. All right, so this is the screen from last time. Oh, lid open. This happens. I forgot to put this bottom part. So let's go ahead and bring that in. And now the lid is closed. And I do that all the time. So you can see it's centering. It's going to tell you in this top right corner what's happening. We're going to let it go from there. All right, so it's centered and now it's scanning in what's in the workspace. We have a camera right here. So check it out. Medium clear acrylic, we have it set. And then because it has proof grade, we're going to do it. We don't have to adjust anything. We're just going to do cut. We have our proof grade cut. And there's our design. So you can see here are our dimensions already. So it's, you know, let's see. We'll bring that over. It's about 6.5. We can still see that. So I'm just going to leave it just like that. I like to nudge it over a little bit just to give it some space. And now let's print. So this printing, it's going to prepare it. It's kind of saying like, okay, let's focus. Let's get all of our stuff together. So we're going to let that process. Okay, so you'll see on the screen, this will be about a 4-minute cut. If you look over on the camera, you can kind of see it in the frame. Our little button is glowing, so we're all set. Let's push the button. All right, our print is done. I can go ahead and open this up. And I'm going to bring this down so I can just kind of slide it out as I go. Check it out. That is good. It came right out. And this is what you want. This is proof grade material like it's supposed to. All right. Now, forewarning, acrylic really sticks. Like, it is not like a fun material to cut because it's so smelly. You can see there is my cake topper. I'm going to remove the masking in a little bit. I want to keep it safe, but this is just a paper masking to keep it safe. This will be nice and clear on top of the cake. Hey friends, so it's totally a different day. That's what happens when you do videos for a shower you're doing all the work for the day before. But I have my finished product. So this is my cake topper made on my Glowforge. So I'm really, really proud of it. So what I did is I still did the clear acrylic, but I taped off the bottom here to keep it safe. And then I sprayed this with Krylon Glitter Blast. So I really liked using it because it made it super easy. I use it just like spray paint. Let me kind of put this so you can focus on there. So I use it just like spray paint. So I will link below the Glitter Blast in my description. But I did this using the proof grade material from Glowforge. So there is a ton of different acrylic you can use. I really liked using this material because I didn't really have to adjust anything. It just did my settings and cut. So I will insert pictures of the cake. I thought it looked really cute. Probably is going to be the thumbnail, so you already know that. But a fun project, super easy to do. I'm sure this will be a great seller for you if you are selling these items in your store. So if you like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build up so I can give you guys great video, great content. And check out the link below if you are still shopping for a Glowforge. You can find out how you can save up to $500. Thanks, guys.